If it's bigger than them, people will move mountains. If it's bigger than them, people will work longer hours. If it's bigger than them, people will work weekends, early mornings, late nights. But if it's just another way to earn income, people will not treat it with the same level of love, respect, discipline, dedication, and commitment. People won't. Today, I'm going to be talking about how to build a sticky culture. What is a sticky culture? A sticky culture is a culture that when people come into it, they stick. They don't want to go away. They want to stick and stay and never go away because of how incredible it is, because they're a part of something bigger than themselves, because the environment's amazing, because of how they feel being associated with the firm. I want to go over 7 questions with you that's going to hopefully spark you improving the culture that you currently have and are driving something in your business that you haven't been driving already. And I really believe that today's gonna make all the difference in the world. So let's go over these 7 questions and then you can kind of audit your own self and audit your own business, audit your own environment and improve it along the way. So the first question I have for you is, do people feel like they are making an impact? Like working with your company, do people feel like they're making a difference? Do people feel like they're making an impact? Do people feel like the products that they're offering really change people's lives? Or do they just kind of feel like they show up, they sell something, and that's about it, right? People want to feel good about what they're offering. One of the things that people lack in life is fulfillment. And so if people don't feel like they're making an impact, they're going to lack fulfillment. And at the end of the day, that's what every human is striving for. Every human just wants to be more fulfilled. They want to be more happy. And the happiness that we really experience, the highest level of bliss and fulfillment, doesn't come from what we do for ourselves. It comes from what we do for other people. So if you have a company where you are making an impact, or people's lives are getting better by being associated with your company, and or people's lives are getting better by being associated with their product, now the question is do people feel that way? Because one thing for that to be the case, but it's another thing for people to feel like they're truly making that difference, really making that impact. And so we got to really audit our business there. The second question I have for you is, do people feel like they are growing and getting better working with your firm? Like, do they feel like they're getting better? Are their skills getting better? Is their mind getting better? Is their income getting better? Do they feel like they're progressing? You know, Tony Robbins always says that happiness equals progress and progress equals happiness. So if people do not feel like they are progressing in your culture, in your business, if they don't feel like they're progressing in their skill set or their ability to get a result, what's going to happen is it's going to lead to them becoming unhappy with your business and or with your environment. And then they're going to end up exiting it, looking for somewhere else where they can grow, where they can get better. So that way they can actually experience the feeling of happiness, which comes from progress. And so it's so important, it's so imperative that if you're going to have a team, if you're going to have people in your environment, that every single day people leave that day thinking, man, I grew today. I improved. My skills got better. My knife got sharpened. I got better as a human being working with this company. My skills got better. Man, my income is on the climb. I'm this close to my next promotion. I'm so close to it. I'm getting better. If I get better just a little bit more, I'm going to get that promotion. People need to feel like they're improving. People need to feel like they're growing. And that leads me to the third question that you should ask yourself, which is, do my people or the people in our organization feel like they're getting better, not just in business, but outside of business? That's so important. If you want to have a sticky environment, your environment needs to lead to people not just being better in their business, but being better in life. Not just being better financially, but being a better husband or a better wife or a better mom or a better dad or better in their faith or better in their health. Your business should lead to people wanting to get better in life, not just business. And if that's the case, it's going to create such a sticky environment, because now you don't just have the buy-in from the person because the person's fired up about getting better, but you have the buy-in from their family. Think about it like this. Let's just say all of a sudden, a guy named Bob, and Bob comes into our environment. And from being in our environment, he wants to become a better husband. He wants to become a better dad. He wants to become stronger in his faith. He wants to strengthen his marriage. And all of a sudden he goes back home and he's actively working on those things. Do you think Bob's wife is going to be mad or sad or happy that he's in this environment? She's going to be fired up that he's in this environment, because every time he's in our environment, he goes back home a better husband. And so when you have an environment that doesn't just make people better in business, but makes people better in life, it leads to the most sticky type of environment, because now you have family members encouraging their siblings, their husbands, their wives, their loved ones, their family members and friends are encouraging them to be in this environment because of the person that they're becoming along the way. So let me ask you, Is your business that way? Does your business make people feel like they're making an impact? Does your business make people feel like their skills are sharpening every day? Does your business make people feel like they're getting better, not just in business, but also in life? And if the answer to that question is no, these are things that we got to actively work on. And that leads me to the fourth question. Fourth question is do people feel like they're a part of something bigger than themselves, or do they feel like they're just part of another company? There are way too many companies out there, way too many companies. People don't want to just be a part of another company. People don't want to be a part of just another business. People don't want to just show up, work, and one day die. They want to know that they contributed. They want to know that they live a life that mattered. They want to know that what they're doing day in and day out makes a difference. They want to know that they're challenging the status quo, rewriting history, doing something that's never been done before. People want to be a part of a movement. They don't want to be a part of just another company. And so if your business has a movement-like feel, meaning when people are there, they know that they're not just doing day-to-day work, but they're a part of something bigger than themselves, they're going to want to stay. Even if they get paid less, they're going to want to stay. But in reality, if they're in that environment, they're not going to get paid less. They're going to get paid more because they'll be fully committed if they really believe that it's bigger than them. If it's bigger than them, people will move mountains. If it's bigger than them, people will work longer hours. If it's bigger than them, people will work weekends, early mornings, late nights. If it's bigger than themselves, people go the extra mile. But if it's just another way to earn income, people will not treat it with the same level of love, respect, discipline, dedication, and commitment. People won't, because it's just another job or just another business or just another way to earn some income versus something that's bigger than themselves. And that leads me to question number 5. Do people feel like they belong? Do your people feel like they belong? Does it feel like a family? You know, your business needs to feel like a family, but it needs to run like a business. It needs to feel like a family, but it needs to run like a business. Do your people feel like they belong? Meaning, do they feel welcome? Do they feel seen? Do they feel heard? Do they feel loved? Do they feel cared about? Do they feel like the people that are working for that company, they're going to be around a bonfire within the next 30 years? And if the answer to that question is no, that's a major problem. You're going to have an unsticky business because people quit businesses for 2 reasons. Number 1, they don't feel like they can do it. Number 2, they don't feel like they belong. So if people don't feel like they belong because they're not in the environment, well, then it's going to lead to them leaving. If people don't feel like they belong because they haven't been welcomed into the environment, then it's going to lead to people leaving. Number 6, you need to cast a vision so big that everyone in your company's vision can fit inside of it. Because big cannot fit in small, but small can fit in big. And so if you're selling too small of a vision, this is what's going to happen. You're going to recruit people into your company and they're going to have a vision that exceeds yours. And if their vision exceeds yours, they're not going to last in their environment because they'll think to themselves, why would I stay a part of a company where the vision that I have for my life can't be accomplished here? And then they're going to go to another company with a leader that's casting an even bigger vision. And so if you want to make sure that you are recruiting people that have big goals, big dreams, big aspirations, well, then you need to cast a vision big enough where they feel like those goals, dreams, and aspirations that they have for their life can be accomplished through working with your company. If not, you're going to lose them. So you have to make sure that you are constantly casting a fat vision of what you're going to do, the lives you're going to change, the impact that you're going to make, the legacy that you're going to leave behind, the way that you're going to change the industry. You got to constantly cast a big vision or else you're going to lose people with a big vision. And last but not least, number 7, the 7th question I want you to ask yourself is, does everyone in your company know the enemy? Matt, what do you mean an enemy? Enemy? You want our people to have an enemy? Yes, I want your company to have an enemy. Your company needs to have an enemy. Your company needs to have something to go against. Your company needs to have an injustice that they're trying to correct. And if your company does not have that, then your people are not going to have the fuel to go do something more. And your people are also not going to stick and stay. Because when people feel like, once again, they're a part of something bigger than themselves, when people feel like they're righting a wrong, they're rewriting a wrong, when people feel like they're correcting an injustice, they start to really know this is bigger than me. This is bigger than me. What do you mean? I can't go to bed tonight. There's an injustice going on. I can't go to sleep tonight. There's an injustice going on. Weekends, I'm going to work weekends. Why? Because I got to go correct this injustice. When people feel like they're correcting injustice, when they're rewriting a wrong, when there is an enemy that they're going against, people will do more. They'll work harder. They will stay longer because once again, it is bigger than themselves. This is how you create a sticky environment. So let's just go through this one more time. Do people feel like they're making an impact? Do people feel like they are getting better in the business each and every single day? Their skills are improving. Do people feel like they're getting better in life, not just in business, but outside of business? Do people feel like they are part of something bigger than themselves? Do people feel like they belong? Does the vision that you're casting fit everyone else's vision inside of it? And do the people in your company know the problem that you were trying to solve, the enemy that you were going up against, and the injustice that you were trying to correct? And if the answer to that question is no, or you answer no to those questions, you're going to have an environment that people can recruit from and pick apart. But if you have all 7 of those things, you're going to have such a sticky environment. And having that sticky environment is going to make it so much more difficult to lose people. And it's going to make it so much easier to keep people. And the easier it is to keep people, the bigger you get, the bigger impact that you're able to make. And obviously, the bigger impact that you make, the more fulfilled that you're going to be. So with that being said, if you got something out of today's message, like, share, subscribe, tell somebody about it. We put out all this information free for the consumer. It costs me money. I've thought about canceling this podcast many times, but I haven't because of the ongoing messages that I hear from you guys about the difference that it makes. But if I am going to put out these content, all I ask is that you help us grow, you share this content so that way we can get to the next level. So that being said, love you all. God bless you and your families, and I'll see you guys next time on the Leaders Only podcast.